I'm just going to do a quick video, and I don't know why I didn't do this before I straightened my hair. But yeah. So, some weird information that went around about me in the last 9 years since 2015. Actually, one weird crap. Because no one ever really sees me with my hairs naturally out, and my hair is naturally wavy. Always has been, actually. Let me show you a photo of my grandparents on my dad's side. Alright, that is Stanley Fleming. That's my grandfather, my dad's father. And that is Ruby Jane Hill, so Stanley's wife. So Ruby Fleming, that's my grandmother. Both passed on. So if you ever look at me, I'm not as dark skinned as my grandfather. But the thing is, if I go out in the sunlight, which I haven't for a very long time, my skin goes dark really quickly. And that's because I picked up my dad's father. My dad's father actually had dark skin. It's even listed on documents. So when his description was done for the military and or any government documents where they say, you know, eye color and complexion and so forth, they've described his complexion as being a dark complexion. So not Caucasian, dark. So my pop was thick. My pop had thick black hair. I didn't get the thick black hair like he did, but I do have dark features, but not as dark as my pop. So they've come from my dad's side, which you can see that very simply, that my complexion, my features comes from my dad's father, Stanley Fleming, and that's my dad's mother, Ruby Fleming. Now, there is frizzy, untamable, curly, wavy hair right through the Fleming side of my family. My mother has issues because my mother only seems to remember her second husband's, which is the Rackleys. I'm from her first husband, which is the Fleming. My mother's weird. So my hair, since I grew up from being a toddler, has always been frizzy hair. Not thick hair, fine hair with a lot of it that goes frizzy. So unfortunately, I didn't get my pop's thick hair. Unfortunately, I didn't get his dark skin either. However, I do go a bit of a dark olive tinge when I've had, when I'm out in the sun. So that comes from my dad's father. So yeah, my dad's father was dark. The ethnic look comes from him. So my features are dark naturally. And saying that, both my grandfathers, so my mother's father, which is Reginald George Purdy, he had black hair. He had black hair that went grey. However, my dad's father, Stanley Fleming, he had black hair that stayed jet black to the day he died. He never had one bit of grey for his hair, but it was frizzy. So my hair is not dead straight. I have straightened it, and I have straightened it for a very long time throughout my life. I will get up. So it's not short either. This is what I used to, so I look short right now, right? I've had long hair most of my life. Well, pretty much all of it different. Actually, it's just been different variations of long hair. So for formal events or school and so forth, you tie it back or brush it back, plaster it back with cream, broad cream, gel, oil, and hairspray. Lots and lots of hairspray. It didn't move, it was like a rock. So I still do it now. So right now my hair looks straight and short, but it's actually long and wavy. Saying this, here's where the confusion comes in. Because my mother's second husband's family does have wavy hair as well. So Mark Rackley, well, I don't really remember Mark Rackley's hair other than being bald. So my stepfather was bald. But apparently, according to my mother, his hair was wavy, but his hair is reddish brown. So is his son, Daniel Rackley. Daniel Rackley, I do remember his hair being wavy or curly, whatever. But again, a ringer. And this is what's so creepy about the whole thing is because my mother is like, seriously, Carol, there's not only one entire family in the world that has that type of hair. So that's where she behaves weirdly. She's like, oh no, the Rackleys. It's like, okay, we know you're obsessed with your second husband's family, but they're not the only people in the entire world that have wavy, frizzy hair. So this is what's been brought up. It's like, well, the Flemings, so Mark Ian Fleming, my father, when his hair was long, it was, even though I reckon he looks more like his mother than his father. So my dad looks more like his mother, Ruby. And my dad's hair was wavy, always wavy. He didn't have the dark features that his father did either. Only a few of us picked up on the dark features. I've got them. You can see that's all my natural. So my beard is almost jet black with grey for it now. So yeah, so Stanley Fleming, that's my pop. That's Stanley Fleming. So if anyone ever wants to know, and I've often said this, but he was an orphan. Yes, that's correct. Stanley Fleming was an orphan, but his name was Stanley Fleming. He just wasn't raised by his parents. He was raised by Edith Cavity in Botany Bay. Now, this is my grandparents. If anyone ever wants to say again about, because I've had people in the last 9 years say, oh, personality disorder, he's trying to look something. I'm like, I don't try to look anything. I look like a Fleming. Even my nose is like a Fleming's nose. Everything about me, including the tips here, is Fleming. It's all Fleming. That's Stanley Fleming. And that's Ruby Fleming. Now, my pop was dark-skinned. Unfortunately, I didn't have... So my pop had dark skin all year round. Middle of winter. His skin was dark, olivey skin. It was just... And it's down. It's listed. It's not listed as Caucasian with a tan or anything like this. It's listed as dark. Dark complexion. My skin... Well, I'm also lacking in iron. So my colours dropped. But I used to have always dark skin throughout my life. Was never this pale. This is the most palest you would ever see my skin ever. But no, I was never pale. I just have, well, probably from low iron now and some other issues is what's causing it. But no, I've always had dark skin. And, oh, sorry. Probably because I've always been, now I've been run down for a few years as well. Really didn't pick up after COVID. But yeah, so maybe I need a real good dose of vitamin D. But my, my pop, Stanley Fleming, was always dark. Even my dad, Mark Ian Fleming, said, yeah, you know, like you can see when my pop got sick and he was dying of cancer, or asbestos cancer. And even my dad said, oh, he looks at a photo and goes, oh, that's, you know, when Dad, Pop, Stanley, he was still looking good then, like he was still healthy before he was dying because he was still dark. He only ever lost colour when he was dying. So, yeah, he died at, about 62 or something, I think, from memory. But, yeah, so that's it. I am dark-featured. My hair is wavy. I do brush it back the way I've just done it. I just thought this now because I got out of the bathroom. It was frizzy up, and I was like, oh, God, I've got to get some oil, some leave-in conditioner, some tamer, some detangler, some defrizzer, because my hair just goes so frizzy. And because it's fine here, it doesn't look that great frizzy because being so frizzy and it's fine, you can see through it now that I've thinned out a little bit. So I brush it back straight and you can see, yeah, you can't really see through it. But when it's all frizzy up and so forth, you can see more through it. So when it wasn't so thin and I actually had a lot more hair, I would let it go wavy. I used to, you know, finish work at Starkers, and I have it like this for work, finish work, let it out, and it'd be just like great sort of, you know, wavy, frizzy hair. And it looked great. It looked great in my 20s, it looked great in my 30s, not so much in my 40s now that I've thinned. So, yeah, I mean, you can see there under the light. You can see, you know, I'm not as thick as I used to be. It's thinned out. But, yeah, I used to have beautiful wavy hair. And it is naturally wavy. I just brush it back. Maybe it probably wouldn't have looked so thin if I didn't put so much product in it to brush it back straight. But I do. Oils, probably the worst ones, synthetic oils like baby oils and things like this, Vaseline oils, worst things, creams, brow creams, hair gels, and hairsprays. So probably everything that's actually making it fall out and go brittle and terrible to plaster it back straight. But it actually is wavy hair. It's not naturally dead straight. And it's long. So, yeah.